and I just don't care about either of them.
This is why I don't. Welcome to Media Men Online. We're complaining about Super Bowl. I'm Dan. This is Jeremy.
I like most people who watch the Super Bowl don't even know how they got into that game to begin with. Also, why is it pronounced Bengals? It's not how.
If I may, for a moment, this is why I don't do Super Bowl parties, because the people who are interested in the game, the people who aren't, are quiet during the commercials and talk during the game about the commercials they just watched. So it's like you're trying to watch the game, and it's like, oh my God, did you see Coca-Cola had the bear and the horse? Who does the horse? Budweiser had the horse. It's like, shut the fuck up.
The last time I watched the Super Bowl, they had a twerking hamster. That's all I remember.
Jesus Christ. I thought you were going to say Janet Jackson pulled her titty out.
No, I wasn't watching for that one.
I
don't know which one I don't know if it was before or after the twerking thing, but I was like,
Super
yeah,
Bowl
we're done
38,
here.
Panthers, Patriots. Not that I know. Anyways, so today's episode, American Underdog, perfectly timed. We didn't do any Christmas episodes or anything like that, but we're going to do a Super Bowl situation. And Fire Force is an anime. And that's just kind of what we do, movies and anime, right? So that's what we're going to do.
Sometimes we do a TV show that we hate.
Yeah. Looking at you, is it Pacemaker or Peacemaker? I don't even give a shit. Yeah. Have you watched any more of that since we've talked?
No, I just can't. I just can't. Well, I was expecting us to get some pop off of that very deeply unpopular opinion. Like, it's still like I went through this the subreddit on it to see what people were talking about, and the people seem to like it. Got a good IMDb score.
Christ.
But it turns out that what people were missing in their comic book TV shows, they weren't looking for good action or good characters or a good plot or any sort of thing like that. They just wanted to see John Cena's cornhole. That's what we've been missing this whole time. That's why Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. didn't do better. There was no cornhole in it.
John Cena banging some skank and John Cena's ass for way too long. 0.1 seconds is too long.
They needed Kirsten Wiig's character from Wonder Woman to make those TV shows really just mwah. I'm gonna be bitching about this for the rest of my life.
So I saw 2 movies this week, and you went and saw. Did you see Moonfall?
Yes, I saw Moonfall.
So I saw 2 other movies this week, and the first one I went by myself and saw Jackass Part 4. Oh, what a good time that is for the most part. There's a lot of. Go ahead.
I just can't with Jackass movies. I don't really want to see that much dick and balls and whatever Steve-O decides to pierce next.
That is a problem. Yes.
Listen,
I suggest you go out and watch it if you can take, seeing some wiener, which I don't want to see, but the rest of it was pretty goddamn funny.
Like, I don't know, like they hammer their dicks and and then someone inhales a fart.
Yeah, they took a queen bee and put it on Steve-O's dick, and then had all the bees swarm onto his dick, and he had like a dick bee thong going on. It was just so disturbing. There was such cringy shit in there too, but it was just fun. It's just a fun movie. And the other one I saw is a new Liam Neeson movie called Blacklight.
I'm planning to watch that, but work is being work.
And I don't know if you noticed, but I had it on the watch list that we have a running watch list, and I took it off because it's quite boring.
Oh, is it? So it's not even like bad enough to be good. It's just boring. The ultimate crime in movies is being just boring.
The first 20 to 25 minutes were entertaining, and then the final 20 to 25 minutes, but the middle bit, I was just like, oh my God, I should have napped before this movie. I'm so tired. Just do not want to do this anymore.
Yeah, I feel like Liam Neeson has been trapped. Like he did the Taken movie.
Yes.
And then he couldn't get any other roles after that.
No.
And so he's just kind of trudging his way through the rest of his career.
He did a good one recently where he's like a retired bank robber. That one was pretty good. Don't remember what it was called, but whatever. Why don't we start with American Underdog? And then we'll move into Fire Force. The story of NFL MVP and Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner, who went from stocking shelves at a supermarket to becoming an American football star.
Yeah, so when I started watching this, I thought it was a like a made up story,
Mm-hmm.
like the Green Giants. But this is actually like based on but then I think like halfway through it, and like you told me on Discord, it was based on a true story of Kurt Warner. So he really did just like show up for his first time playing football without having read the book.
Yeah, so the movie starts and he's a college quarterback. He's a fifth year senior, which you get your 4 years of college, but if you're injured any of those years, then you get an extra year to play. But he's kind of a fifth year bench warmer, just in a small town in, was it Iowa? I believe it's Iowa.
Yeah, he's not like Division 1. He's like down there.
Some of this stuff I checked up on because it seemed too fairy tale-y, like
Mhm.
fantasy world type situation, but it's all everything that I've looked up is true. So he's trying to put together a highlight reel for so he can submit it to the NFL draft. Now, typically quarterbacks who are not Division 1 and don't start for the majority of their career, if you can't start in college, you're
Mhm.
probably not going to start in the NFL, essentially, unless you're Tom Brady and Kurt Warner, apparently.
I do know that they don't always start the best player. Like if they have someone who's a senior and has been on the team for a while, they'll start him instead of like the sophomore who's just a lot better. But for a
Sure.
fifth year senior and you're not starting, you that's not
Right.
a good sign.
In college, the fastest player can outrun all the other players. But in the NFL, all of the fastest college players are those players, so you're not going to outrun everyone.
Yeah,
So,
it's like if you're really like, if you're pretty slick, you can play like college basketball without being 7 feet tall.
yeah.
But once you get to the NBA, well, congratulations, this guy is almost as good as you, and he's 7 feet tall. Sit down. One of my first notes in here is this guy lands a girl by telling her that football is his daddy issues.
Yes.
And she's like, "Oh, yeah, let's go, baby."
She's
Show up
like,
with a truck unannounced and let's call
yes.
it a night.
Do you see this poorly constructed wig for this set? Yeah, I got daddy issues too. The main girl in this is Rogue from the original X-Men movies, which I couldn't keep my mind off of because she looks so weird with that wig. So he doesn't get drafted. He meets this girl at the hoedown. What is this? I'm from the north. You're gonna have to explain this to me, Jeremy.
I mean, I've never been to a hoedown. I do know that my aunts and my mom used to go line dancing,
Uh-huh.
and so basically just like think about like you know what the electric slide is.
Of course.
Imagine like rednecks doing a different dance, but it's like I think it's always the same dance or it's like a certain set of dances. But they
Ah,
also have like ones where like they call out what's gonna happen, like you're all lined up and then like someone announces the moves and so you kind of do what the person says. It's like Simon Says with music. Spin your partner round and round, fling them left and then go find someone else to spin around with. I think at a bar, like it's just people dancing to like music. But like they make a big thing out of her, like, being a single mom and not having time for his nonsense. But she had enough time for him to get to know her just staring at her on the dance floor.
she has enough time to always be at the bar.
She has the same bar schedule as a college student.
Yeah.
That's not a good
Like, do you
sign.
work here? So he gets in her pants and everything, and he meets. So it was a really like sweet thing. Well, I don't know if this part is sweet. Ladies, you'll have to let us know if it is. But he shows up at her door. He gets her address from one of the bartenders because apparently she's there so much that everyone has her address except the guy trying to bang her. And he just shows up, and the kid, one of her boys, is like legally blind or almost legally blind, and he
Yeah,
just
I think he's legally blind,
yeah. Which this is a
and he's also like developmentally disabled because of he had a head injury and brain swelling.
and the kid lets him in, takes him by the hand. They go. His radio isn't working, but it just needs a battery. They lay down on the bathroom floor and they're singing country music, and well, the kid is singing country music, and the whole time Kurt Warner, a common theme is like, this sucks. I fucking hate country music. Really nice story, especially because it's true. So
Yeah. So one thing that I didn't quite
mhm.
understand is he got a job. He got a job after the draft. So
Mhm.
is the rule that like all the teams get the first crack for the draft? Like you can't get a job at the NFL before the draft, but then after the draft, it's like you just go wherever and do whatever you want.
Yes. So you have your 2 years, I believe, is the minimum eligibility. 2 years of college or professional ball elsewhere, whatever.
But I
2 years
imagine
is
like
mhm.
there's so many drafts that if you don't get drafted, you're pretty much not gonna land anywhere because the last 10 drafts are like we had to pick someone.
So it's 7 rounds, 32 teams, and then there are like the NFL does this thing now where if you like hire a black dude, you get extra draft picks. I swear to fucking God, this is real. So
Like
224 to like 280 draft picks. So if you've reached your eligibility, you're eligible for that draft. And then after that draft goes, even if you're not picked, you can just be picked up whenever. Once you pass through that draft that you're first eligible for, you can go do whatever you want and just get a call. Like you could get a call. I mean, I could get a call. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I'm eligible.
Yeah, so what
So
made me think this
mhm.
wasn't a true story is this guy like puts his heart and soul into football. There's a big like montage scene where he overcomes his fear of just getting hit in football.
Yep.
It seems like his issue is he was afraid to get hit, which I'm thinking that maybe football ain't the game for you. Like you got a good
Yeah.
arm, maybe try baseball. They don't
Right.
they almost never hit you. Just don't stand in the baseline. You're not going to get hit.
Yeah, especially if you're a pitcher, just don't hit anyone in the back with the ball and they won't come beat your ass.
That one rule, I always mess that part up.
Yeah.
But then so after the draft, he his agent gets him like an actual job with a team. He buys a truck with his bonus upfront payment, which I think when this movie was made, that like he got like $3,000, which is a lot of money for a bonus.
In the early
And
90s.
yeah, and so he drives cross country, and he seemingly has a playbook because they expect him to have read it. Like he showed up to practice not having read the playbook.
And was
Like
so scared that he didn't even participate. So
this guy is so used to college that he thought the first class was them reading the playbook, was reading the syllabus to them. Listen, kids, if you're here's how you here's a little tip for you. If the entire first class is reading the syllabus, that's an easy A. That's not a real class. That class is made to scoop up your tuition money and push everyone through another year of paying for dorm fees and meal plans.
yep.
The real learning happens later. They expect you to read the syllabus before you show up because there's shit to do. And I would think the NFL would be the higher level, as in, no, you need to have this read, memorized, and like have your notes and questions ready on the first day of practice. Like,
Yep.
they're not going to teach you the playbook when you're standing around in your gear.
Right.
I assume they do that like in basketball shorts inside, like on a couch or something. Like, I don't know. I was really mad at him for that. I'm like, dude, come on.
Like, do you really want this? Or is this just like a
I will do anything but read.
read
And
the thing
then
that will make me do the thing?
so he loses that job, and of course he needs to. So he goes back to the town with the chick and her kids, and they live with her parents for a while. They move away, which is just a real top tier grandparent move. Like, yeah, this basically single mother with this a guy that still thinks he's going to play in the football. Yeah, I'll just leave them to take care of it all. I'm
Yep.
going to go live by the lake. No, I'm sorry. If you got grandkids, you have some responsibility, unless you're fucking these people.
Yeah.
I'm going to the fucking lake. Good luck, nerds. They probably got in the car and be like, God, glad we pawned off that whore. Like, I mean, I mean, just hard abandoned. And then, like, oh, it's so sad when they die. Like, I was happy when they died. You can't just leave. Your daughter has a disabled child and a giant a giant NFL hopeful who didn't read the playbook to depend
Yeah.
on, and you're just going off to the lake. See, this is what's wrong with this country. Anyway, this dumbass, the power goes out the heat goes out because they didn't pay the bill. You know, if you don't pay your bills. I don't know how people have things. I've had bank overdrafts. I know exactly how it happened. I wasn't reading my checkbook. I didn't balance my checkbook, and I didn't have enough money. Like their power goes out, And then they get into the truck and start driving across country to go stay with, I think his mom. And he literally didn't read his gas gauge. It's right there in front of you. You have the entire drive. You are driving through Wisconsin or Kansas or somewhere. Like there's nothing to look at but the gas gauge. Very, very irresponsible. You can tell he's already taken his hits to the head before the movie started. But I guess he turned out to be really good at football. But they don't really explain what makes him good at football. Like, is he really good at reading the plays? Like he has success on the field, on screen, but it's always like a video of him like stepping back and like then he throws the ball and then the guy catches it in the end zone. And I'm like, what makes him a good, like my understanding of a good quarterback is someone that like reads the field really well. Like he knows where the runners are going to go and he knows before the defense does where the runner is going to be open. That's how basketball plays work, which I know a little bit about. But like they don't really talk about any about that at all. Like he doesn't talk about they don't talk about like reading the play or anything. It's just look at that arm.
Yeah, so the thing of you got most of it right. It's the quarterback reads so he knows the play, the offensive play, where each receiver and running back, everyone is going to be. The quarterback's job, the really good quarterbacks, the ones who especially aren't athletic, like Tom Brady. Tom Brady knows exactly the type of defense and exactly where he's going to go, where he's going to throw the ball before he snaps the ball, before the center snaps the ball. I think that the reason that Kurt Warner ended up being so good is because of his time in the Arena Football. So there's a league called Arena Football League. It's half the size of a regular football field, which regular football field is 120 yards long ways and 52 and a half or whatever.
And it's also like a very, very fast game. Like the plays start, they start again. There's no fucking standing around. They don't have time for cheerleaders.
Right.
Like
so
that's the way I understood it is like also the play time is faster. Like
yes,
they're not running faster on the field, but like from the end of the last play to the start of the next play is a lot faster is what I gathered from that, right?
Yes, it's him learning the fast cadence of the Arena Football, taking that to the NFL, along with his strong arm and the play calling and the creative mind of Mike Martz, who is the offensive coordinator. He's the white-haired coach that's really tough on him when he starts with the Rams. So that's what really made him really good, was because if you think about it, when he's scrambling, when he's running out of the pocket in the beginning before he keeps taking a pounding, which, by the way, we didn't mention his buddy that he's a stock boy with. When they keep tackling Kurt, they're like, you can't go out of the pocket, complete a pass. You have to, this is them teaching him how to read the defense. And the coach is like, anyone else want to jump in here? And his buddy's like, yeah, me. Bro, you're on offense. Somebody get me a defensive jersey. I was like, oh, that's fucked up.
That's a rough tackle too, because that guy had like 70 pounds on him.
You know, the Arena Football, the fast cadence, Mike Martz, and his strong arm. So the other thing was during the Arena Football thing, he's starting to have a lot of success. The girlfriend is like getting super jealous. Like it's really annoying because he's finally living out a dream, starting to at least. And he's saving up all this money that obviously Jeremy mentioned them not being able to pay their heat bill, car breaking down because they didn't have money for gas, or he was too stupid to fill the gas tank. And she's going, do you see yourself in my life? Can I answer? You already did. Let me finish. Like she sits down with him in his apartment and she's just giving him the business. And I'm just like, just ditch her. It's not worth it. Dennis Quaid is in this movie. He plays Dick Vermeil, who is the head coach of the Rams. So they get to the championship game of the Arena Football League. Win or lose, whatever. He gets notice from the Rams, the St. Louis Rams at the time, that they're interested in signing him. And I think the Arena Football League takes place after the NFL season. So his entire first few years of eligibility have already passed. Now he's getting set up for a training camp for that coming year, which I believe, is 1999, and I think he's a 26 or 27-year-old rookie. So it had been like 3 years since he. So if you're a fifth year senior, you're 23. So 3 or 4 years. My God, since since he played, but that obviously excludes the Arena Football League.
The time really threw me off because they took exactly zero effort to like age the show at all. It's like he didn't even like skip a day of shaving to look a little bit older.
No, and they
when they
didn't
did the
show the
time skip.
kids or anything.
No,
Nothing.
like the kid's the same age.
Yeah.
This kid was 4 years old for the entire 25-year movie. This kid was 5 years old longer than like the Simpsons.
Bart
had, like,
Simpson,
Bart
yeah.
being 8.
Yeah, and she didn't get a better wig in that time. Like, she kept that stupid haircut. Oh my God. When he goes to try out for the Rams, Mike Martz is the offensive coordinator, and he's very hard on Kurt. There's a moment where the center, he kind of quick snaps the ball and Kurt drops it. And it was really a test to see if, because the quarterback has to take the blame for a lot of the other guys' mistakes. And he did that, on the spot. And after the center like puts his hand to his chest, like, my bad. Thought that was a pretty cool moment. Dick Vermeil, if you ever get a chance, watch one of his press conferences. This guy was a weird ass dude. and Dennis Quaid has him down pretty well with his mannerisms and everything. Trent Green, who was he was the starting quarterback for the Rams that year, gets injured in the preseason, and he was set up to be like the guy that year. Brett Favre, Trent Green, like that kind of thing. He gets injured in the preseason, so Kurt is the starter. And it's really weird because I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but in his first game, Kurt Warner is against the Ravens, and at that time, Ray Lewis it was like his first or second year in the league. This is where I thought it was fake, because Kurt throws like one of his first few passes and Ray Lewis intercepts it. Like, there is no fucking way this is real, because it's too, like, Ray Lewis is one of the best defensive players ever. It seemed too weird. You know what I mean? Like, it seemed too Hollywood. But I looked it up, and Ray Lewis did intercept a pass from Kurt Warner in their first game, which is fucking wild.
I mean, doesn't Ray Lewis normally get an interception like
No.
once or twice in a game? No?
That's what's so weird about it, because the linebackers are the tacklers. The defensive backs are responsible for the interceptions.
Oh, because the way they had them lined up, it looked to me like Ray Lewis was doing a different spot than the person that holds that tries to separate the offensive line.
Yes, so there's the defensive linemen who go head up with the offensive linemen, and then there's the linebackers, which is the next level. Let's see, in his career...
This has been 2 hours of Dan trying to explain football to Jeremy.
So in Ray Lewis's career from 1996 to 2012, he only had 31 total interceptions.
Does he really talk a bunch of shit when the plays are being set up?
Yes. It just seems so Hollywood. I was like, there's no fucking way this is real.
But he really does it I'm coming for you.
Oh, yeah.
Boom!
For you, meat? Yeah.
Yeah, so we accidentally skipped my favorite line in the movie when he was on the field for the Arena Football, finding out how he gets paid.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, I get paid per touchdown? He's like, did you even read your contract? Somebody teach him how to read. And I'm like, there we go. Now this is a guy I understand.
Yeah, he gets $100 cash per touchdown run or pass. And the guy, it's not like oh, you throw 5 touchdowns this game, I'll cut you a check. No, motherfucker's just got a fat stack of hundies in his pocket, and he's just shelling.
You have to stuff it in your helmet while you're playing.
Oh, they had
you come off the field looking
hundies.
like a stripper.
Yeah. That shit would have been so funny if he folds it long ways and is
Was it the football pants?
Yeah. Tucking in his jock strap. That's some jackass shit right there.
I will say this movie is well dramatized or well acted. I was never really into it. This Kurt guy seems like a jackass for most of the movie. You don't even check. I don't know. But when he has the moments where the head coach gives him the speech and says "Welcome to the Rams," I was like, oh, that actually really hits right there. Like that was
Yes.
that was a moment and a half.
Like they did a nice job as well of cutting in some of his real footage. Like when he's cutting together his tape, it's real Kurt Warner college footage, and they cut in some of the real stuff as well.
Hmm.
So that year he won Rookie of the Year, MVP, Super Bowl MVP. The offense was called the Greatest Show on Turf. He had a 12-year career with 3 different teams. He made it to 3 Super Bowls, only won that first one. Lost to the Patriots in 2000 and the Steelers 2010 or some shit. I don't know.
So one thing, the end, when they had the scene from the Super Bowl, only I could think is, man, it would really suck to be the quarterback on the defensive team for the final play of the Super Bowl. Yeah. Like you're sitting there like, oh man, I scored that last touchdown to get us ahead. They've got 3 minutes left, and this shit, I gotta sit here and watch the rest of the Super Bowl.
That's exactly what happened to him in his second Super Bowl, because they went the very next year, and they take the lead late, and the Patriots drive and kick a game-winning field goal at the end.
Oh man, talk about sweating! But like you're not gonna get back out there. Like just go ahead and eat a chili dog, because like you're just a fan at this point.
Yeah, you're definitely throwing up if you house a chili dog, though.
So one thing that really shocked me was it turns out this guy had like 7 kids or something like that. He had 2 kids that she had before they met, and then think he had like 6 more or like 4 more, something like that. You watch the movie, you would think he had 2 kids. Yeah, and one of them didn't count. Like imagine being your dad's like firstborn anything, firstborn son, firstborn daughter, middle kid, last kid. And then they make an entire movie about your dad's life and his path to becoming a father and a provider. You're not even in the fucking movie. It's a movie about his life, and the birth of his first kid didn't make the cut. That's gotta be cold right there.
Yeah,
I mean, middle kid syndrome level 12. Jesus. Kurt Warner's other kids, I feel for you. I don't know who you are because you weren't in the movie, but I feel for you. I'm not sure your dad knows who you are.
Yeah.
Maybe he really cares about you off screen, but the scriptwriter doesn't give a fuck about you. Like not even see, you are less important. His other kids are less important than the radios.
So he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, possibly the best undrafted player ever. So
he made the Hall of Fame after winning 1 Super Bowl?
One Super Bowl.
I guess Super Bowl is not really the whole thing of your career. There's like other stuff.
Yeah, because Dan Marino never won one.
That seems weird to me. Like comparing it to like music. Like if you made it in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame without ever having a platinum album.
Yeah, if there was 1 platinum album per year, then there'd be a lot, right? Like if only one band could have 1 per year, that would.
I mean, it's a good football movie.
Mm-hmm.
So judging it as a football movie, I guess I'll be like 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm an 8.5. I love this movie. One of the better, other than Whiplash. This is probably my favorite movie new movie I've seen this year. I mean, I know we're pretty early on in the year, but we've seen a lot of movies. So IMDb 4.9 thousand ratings for 7.3 out of 10. Great movie.
Yeah, I would have liked more explanation for what makes him good at the football. It has football the way the Queen's Gambit has chess. Checkmate. Yeah, but how'd you get there?
Yeah.